Hello everyone, welcome back to Tutorial Thursday. I hope everybody's having a good day today. And today's tutorial is actually a request from someone in the Maniology Facebook group. I have been avoiding doing a mani with any of these two plates because of their current price. They were exclusive to Maniology's MXM box and had sold out, and because of that the only way to buy it now is secondhand because they do not reprint. Once they sold out, they've sold out, and these go for around $200 and not including shipping. I believe my husband bought this set of plates for $230. It was like $30 in shipping and $200 for the set of plates. So the one that I used in this mani out of the two today was MXM 039, which is this adorable, let's see if I can get a better clean on it, even though I'm about to use it, so we can see it a little better. I know we've got some glare there, but this adorable pet cemetery plate. It's got all these zombie animals and cute gravestones and ghost animals and bats and ravens, and there's an adorable little fox over here. I do still need to do a mani with that fox. I love it. In fact, I love this night and day version, which is the dead and living as well, of this cat. It's so cute. Let's see if I can get it to actually pick it up. I'm really fond of it. And I guess I should use that ghost cat. I like that one a little more than what I used. Oh well, too late now. I bet, you know, it's got nice trees and clouds, and it's even got some storm clouds and lightning. But today we're using not a whole lot of images. There's a lot of repeating images of what I'm doing. But this is what we're creating today. We have dog ghost, a cat ghost, cat paw, dog paw, and gravestones, and then we have, I can get the angle right here, this cute little owl, skeletal owl on a sign saying pet cemetery. And I've already prepped this hand with peel off base coat from UNT. That's not a step you need to do. I'm doing that step because I do a lot of filming for you guys, and I need to be able to change out my manis quickly due to my busy schedule to provide you guys with videos. So I actually have to do that. So on to the polishes. So today's polishes, we have Sally Hansen Color Therapy, and the color is Plum Euphoria. Let's see if I can get it to actually show it. There we go. Plum Euphoria. Sorry, my sinus is kind of runny right now, so you may hear a lot of sniffling. And Maniology's. Oh no, my sticker's gone. I will have to look that one up because that one does have a name. So while I'm looking that up, I'm going to go over, apparently something happened to my sticker. This is Creeping It Real from Salon Perfect. This is, as you see on the handle, says limited edition for the Halloween, and I only got 2 out of the 6. I was not able to get my hands on the others, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. So I can't even show you those. There was quite a few that I would have liked. In fact, one of them I probably would have used instead of this one, but I just was not able to get my hands on them. So for this reason, I was unable to use the exact colors that I wanted, but I do like the colors that I chose. Let's see here, the name of this particular polish from Maniology. The green So P135 is what it says there. But it's not showing me the name. One moment here. No, I want to search, guys. Not. Okay. Things are being funny here. Try as I might. Okay, there's the search bar. So for products, we want P1. Okay, so maybe I can just find it this way because I just forgot the number apparently. Oh boy, we're gonna have that problem, aren't we? When I tried to scroll. Okay, there it is. So it's called Night Out, P135. I wish my sticker hadn't hadn't decided to fall off. So that is the name of that green. And we have another Salon Perfect nail polish here, and this is It's Your Birthday. Okay, so these are the colors that I used to create this mani. Now, we're also going to need a makeup sponge or whatever sponge you would normally use for a gradient. I like to use these makeup sponges for it. I don't know why, but like it seems to work best out of the things I've used. It's the same material as some of the like sponge wands that you get for using to make certain types of gradients. To be specific, that is not it, that is a stamper. It's in here somewhere. It's not what I used for this type of gradient, but these. It's the same material as these. So if you could use that to do this, it would not be as easy to do, just because the type of gradient we're doing here. In fact, I prefer to stamp my gradients with the gradient stamping plate, but once again, the type of gradient that we're doing, it's very difficult to do that with. Yeah, I'm going to use a fresh sponge for this because it's a little bit bigger, I think. No, not really. Okay, so we'll just use that one then. It's not really any bigger. Okay, so hopefully I can get this done before I need to pick up the young again. This might take a while. I'm also going to use a liquid latex. Now this isn't actually a Maniology liquid latex. This is actually this stuff right here. Walmart carries it every Halloween, and it works great as a cuticle protector, and for that price you get a very large full bottle, and I just used an old smudge-free top coat bottle that I'd cleaned out to do this with. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to put a nice healthy protective layer around my cuticles because I do not want any more cleanup to do than I'm already going to have. I'm going to have a lot. I already know this. I am fully prepared for this because I did quite a bit last night when I did my other hand. And I had protective barrier on that, and it still had a lot of cleanup. I love the look of gradients, but I hate the time it takes to make a good gradient. So I hadn't been doing them very much, even though I really like them. I guess with all that I have to do all the time anymore with the kids and everything, taking the time out to do a good gradient's just kind of annoying to me. because I have so much to do and I have to take time away from, you know, the other stuff. So it just, I don't know, it just irritates me. I like the end result, but like the whole process is not as soothing as what it used to be. I guess welcome to parenthood kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. And I don't like mess as much. Which is funny because now my youngest has decided that messes is his new favorite thing, because he's decided he really likes art projects and paint. And has started pulling the paint out of his brother's art station and insisting on painting on a pretty much a daily basis. So we've had that interesting experience, and I encourage it as much as I can because I want him to get interested in artistic stuff, even if it's irritating for me to have to deal with all the mess and to sit there and not be able to work on certain things around the house. So yeah, it's been it's been fun. So I now have liquid cuticle protector, liquid latex. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more before I start sponging, but we're gonna go ahead and start prepping our sponge. Oh boy. Get that off my desk. So we're gonna need, we're gonna need these three, and we're gonna prep our sponge with purple, blue, and green. And apparently I'm going to mess up my liquid latex already. Get our sponge, and we're gonna go over the top edge and down a little bit around the sides, leaving that center part blank, and that's where the blue will go. I'm trying not to spill any of this or make a mess, so I will be closing the bottles in between. And then we're going to go in with the blue. And normally, yes, I would do a base layer of one color or another, but with the way this works, I don't want any undertones of the green or any of the other colors in there in the other locations. So we will be purely sponging the entire gradient from the base up, because these are kind of sheer colors, because they're specialty colors. I can't even speak today. I apologize. I did not sleep well last night. I have had a rough week this last week with the husband and the kids and just life in generality. Most of the family's been not feeling well, and it's just been absolute chaos. I had to pick up the youngest from school because he had a double ear infection, and he was miserable and flailing around, and it was just awful. I was still recovering from a sinus infection. My husband still wasn't feeling all that grand. He may have a sinus infection. It's just been it's been fun. So this is what my sponge looks like, and this is how we're going to start. We want the green towards the bottom, and we're going to start sponging the colors on. Now that our liquid latex is dry enough. Try not to stick your fingers together because you will lose your liquid latex. And trust me when I say you're going to want some kind of cuticle protector on, whether it be liquid latex or some of these guys right here. You're going to want something, because this stuff, this particular method is messy, guys. It's messy. So let's get our blue now that we redid our purple, and pile that lovely, beautiful blue. Oh my gosh, I love this blue. It is so pretty. And I loved the other colors, and I wish I could have got my hands on them. It really irks me that I just wasn't able to get any of them at all, and I hate that. I hate that. Okay, so now we're gonna go in again, and we just keep doing this till we have our base color. We sponge all of the nails with this color combination. Now, if you don't have these exact shades of polishes, if you have similar ones, a nice plum-like purple, a nice shimmery deeper blue, and a nice green for the grassy portion of it, because that's essentially what that is, then you can use those instead. There are many different brands that have colors similar to this. In fact, the color that I wanted from Salon Perfect in their special edition is very similar to the one I'm using now, and that's why I'm not too upset. The only difference is that this is $12. These are $4. So using this specific one was kind of irritating for me instead of having the one I wanted from Salon Perfect, because, well, the price difference, and they're very similar colors, and it is what it is. So Maniology still sells that one, so eventually I'm just going to have to buy more. It's not a big deal. Hopefully they don't discontinue it before I need to buy more. But it can happen. It is what it is. At least I got a few good manis out of it, right? Right? That's what's important. It does make a good spooky grass color, though. I do like it for Halloween purposes. In fact, I think when they launched it, because I think they launched it last year, and when they did, I think it was during the fall. I could be wrong, though. Because they launched it, and it had a dark blue, and it had, and I guess it was with fall plates available around the same time, and it had a nice brown color too. So I feel like it was during the fall, and it was so pretty. All three of them were so pretty. So I do like them. Don't get me wrong. I don't like their price tags, but I do like them. But also, it's a good quality polish, so I expect it to have at least a more expensive price tag. I apologize if I've been out of camera any of this time. I am tired, and I guess you could say I'm not really feeling it today. I don't know why. It's just, it could be with everything going on. I've got such a busy week planned out this week as well, because the school's got a lot going on. I've got a field trip I got to go to with my youngest. I've got a book reading that has live animals to interact with for the kids. Lunch with the kids at the school, because that's another event that they do. And we have a birthday bash Friday evening for one of our closest friends, who's the godfather of our children. And like, it's just, there's a lot going on. We've got our wedding anniversary coming up, so we're having our wedding anniversary dinner this weekend, and it's just there's so much going on this weekend and this week that, like, I don't know, I'm kind of over it, and we haven't even hit it yet. So we just keep layering this until the base is what we're looking for, which this thumb's getting relatively close. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close. So we want all the lovely, beautiful shimmers. We want all the lovely, beautiful colors. And we're just going to pat it on and layer it on until we have that spooky Halloween base we're looking for, right? Right, that's what we're looking for. So we're just going to keep adding polish in that shape and design that I had showed you. And just keep sponging it on until our base looks the way we want it to. And I can't get over how beautiful this blue is. Like, this blue is so pretty. It is so pretty. I can't help it. It's so pretty. This green is awesome too, don't get me wrong. And I'm not even a green person, but I really like this one. Okay. Stop sticking, stop sticking. Okay. So we're gonna go in and we're just sponging it on. And then once we're done with the sponging part, what we're going to do is we're going to use Cemetry's Quick Dry Top Coat. Well, sorry, I forgot about the glitter part. We could glitter before then. We'll be putting the It's Your Birthday glittery polish over the sky colored portion. And then we'll be using Cemetry's Quick Dry Top Coat. So we're sponging it on. What on earth is my cat doing? Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but my cat is doing something. I don't know what the cat is doing, but I'm hearing a lot of scratching. And if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably Peach, because Peach is the one that whenever he uses the litter box, he's scratching the heck out of the sides of the walls of the enclosure instead of the actual box. And I guess he has something against refrigerators because he also likes to paw at the side of the refrigerator. He doesn't do it as much since we replaced the old one, but like he will occasionally still go over to the side of the refrigerator and just paw at it. Not even with claws out, but just paw at it. And I don't know why he does it. But he's done it for a long time, and he's old. It's not so I don't know. This isn't something that like we've been able to break him of because, well, he's an older cat and he's been doing it for so long that, and I couldn't break him of it when he was younger, so I don't think I'm breaking him of it now. But I could be wrong. Could have been Topaz. Was it you, Topaz? I guess it was. Peach was in here all this time. So there's actually a funny story. Peach is actually a male cat. Topaz is as well. But they're both brothers from the same litter. When we got them, we thought Peach was a little girl. They were 8 weeks old and very, very tiny. And in fact, as adults, they're not huge, especially for males. They're actually they're barely average size for males, I would like to say. They're not very big. Peach was very, very fluffy when we got them and very, very tiny. And so we thought he was a little girl. And so because there's two of them, I named one. My husband, who was my fiance at the time, had named the other. So I named Topaz, and because we thought Peach was a little girl, and he wanted Peach more than he wanted Topaz, he named him Princess Peach. So about a week after we got the kittens, and they had fleas, so like we I started working on getting them old, where they were old enough that I could give them a flea bath. And so we get to that point. Here I am bathing them and combing the fleas out and trying to get them all set up. Okay, I'm trying to get them ready for a good life. Get them cleaned up of the parasites and everything else. And after I get Peach wet, I realize, uh-oh, that's not a little girl. Oops. We thought that was a little girl. It was not. Okay, now he's 10 weeks old. He's big enough now that he can get a flea bath, and he was already responding to the name Peach. So here we are. The cat, already responds to a female-like name. So we just said, I asked my husband, and I go, okay, it turns out it's actually a little boy. It's early enough, he's young enough, we could change his name, but it's not going to be easy. You can change his name if you want. I was like, but understand, he already does respond to the name that we have given him, and it's not going to be easy. He goes, no, we'll just say he's peaches and cream. So, that's how our dear lovely cat that has a girly name got his name, because, well, we thought he was a girl when we got him. He's not. He's very much so not. Though he acts like a little princess, and that was part of the reason why my husband had named him Princess Peach, because he's very dramatic. He acts like a little princess, and so it just stuck. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you've done sponged it enough times that you get enough layers. Go ahead and clean up any overflow onto your skin. Try not to get, of course, what's on your nail. Try to just clean it off your skin. So I've got a cool little trick that's pretty inexpensive to show you guys to make this easier. Now, if you don't have a bunch of extra stampers to do this with, I get it, I understand. It took me a while to build up my collection, but I'm going to do it all kind of at once, and use 9 stampers from one hand. Yes, you heard me correctly. It took 9 stampers last night when I was doing the other hand to do it. So when I say you can never have enough stampers, I'm serious. It took 9 for one hand because of all the reverse stamping, and to make it quicker and a little easier on me, I had them all prepped instead of doing each individual image. You can do it that way, of course. Just pick up your image, your first image, fill it in, apply it, go to the next one. If that's all you've got, or you only have like 2 or 3 stampers like that, if that's all you've got, by all means, go ahead and take that route if that's what you really want. Just be prepared to be at it for a long time. But of course you probably already know that, having just that little of amount. So, just keep in mind, that is something that will make it easier, is having more stampers. There are some people out there, I guess, that, I was one of them once, that, well, why would you need more? I mean, sure, if one breaks, it's kind of nice to have one on hand, but like, why do you really need more? Until I really started getting into heavily detailed art with nail stamping and all of that, I never really, I guess, thought that you needed a lot of that stuff in that kind of quantity, and neither did my husband, in fact. So when I did finally start like picking up more, you're just like, really? Why would you want more? You've got some already. Like, I want more because it makes my life easier, guys. It does. It makes my life easier. You can never have too many of them. It's just not possible. Like, unless you somehow like filled your entire freaking house from floor to ceiling with them, I don't see how it's possible. But who the heck would do that? Like, that's expensive for one, and for two, like, that's a lot. Like, how would you even get that many without being an actual like manufacturer or something? Okay, so what I'm doing is I accidentally took too much off of my nail area when I was cleaning up. I had a hard time getting in there. So if that happens, just get yourself a little nail art brush and take the color you accidentally removed and kind of fill it in there. And I got a couple of spots like that where I accidentally took off too much, which happened to me last night too. All the more reason for me to not be huge on this method. It's hard to clean it up without ruining it. So, but it turned out so pretty. It's just, as stated, the frustrations involved. I love the final outcome, but actually doing it is just, kind of makes me wish I could get my husband to do this for me. Oh, it's sad, but it's true. Okay, so we're through the cleanup in that section. All right, let's cover the areas I oopsied. And we'll be ready to add the next step. Okay. There's so much going on here. Okay. There's that. Yeah, a little bit at the top there. So, okay, so yes, I do regularly take requests on types of manis, and if anybody has a specific type of mani or a specific set of plates or anything like that that they want me to do a mani with, and film it for you guys, a tutorial of it, then let me know in the comments below. I will happily accept requests if I have the stuff for it. I will do it. Now, I can't guarantee that if I don't have the stuff that I'll be able to get the stuff to do it, but I will try to fulfill those requests as much as possible. Okay, so now we're on to the step with the Salon Perfects It's Your Birthday. And this is a really pretty mixed size glitter polish. It has chunks and it has little bits and all sorts of things like that. And all you just want to do is kind of like dab some on, spread it around in the area that has the blue and purple, which would be to simulate a night sky. And just go in and spread her around. Now once we get into the stamping, I will go over all of the other polishes because there's so many of them and I'm not going to be able to keep up and remember unless I'm doing it while I'm doing the steps. So I apologize. I know I normally list everything off at the very beginning, but there's just so much here and my brain's still kind of like scrambled right now, that I'm not going to be able to keep track of it any other way. So I apologize if you were hoping that I would just go in and like list everything off at the very beginning like I normally do. That's just not really feasible for me this time around. So if you were hoping for that, I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't get much sleep. I'm tired. And my brain is mushy. I'm also been on antibiotics for quite some time now for a sinus infection, and even though the infection's almost completely gone, and in that sense I'm feeling better, as far as everything else goes, well, let's just say being diabetic is no fun, and you just find yourself kind of in this weird, not great mental state. Like mom brain becomes mom brain 9000 kind of thing. It makes functioning difficult. It makes functioning very difficult. So I'm I'm ready to be over the sickness. I'm ready for the sickness to be out of my house. I'm ready for these weather changes to no longer be affecting my family and myself. I don't like the sudden changes in weather. I just don't. I don't like summer heat. Like, if we could just be in a decent temperature in fall, like, I'd be happy. I would miss summer a little bit because, you know, I don't have a heated pool. I just have a regular pool. So I wouldn't be able to swim. But if I had a heated pool, I think I would never miss summer. I would never miss it, ever. I would not be sad to see it go. I don't like the heat. I don't like the extreme heat at all. I don't. But I don't like the extreme cold of the winter either. Granted, our winters are kind of mild where we live. We're far enough south that our winters aren't so bad. But they're not great either. I don't like all the tornadoes that we tend to get because of the way the weather is. You know, I go in between hot and cold because it does get kind of hot. We have sudden weather shifts, and it's not fun. So we're gonna go in with our cemetary top coat now that we have our lovely glittery sparkles for the stars. So we want to top coat this and not have, all right, I just saw the stupid thing and then it disappeared. There it is. And not have cat hair. Okay. My cats like to share. And a little too much. One decided to puke right in my path when I got home from dropping the kids off. And I just got done taking my shoes off and stepped right in it. Yep. That was fun. Oh, that was fun. So yeah, in case you were wondering what my morning's been like, we were late getting out the door. We were late enough that I had to wait an extra long time for the teacher to come back from after getting her students to her class for my youngest to escort him to the class because my 7-year-old thought it was very cute to have every delay under the sun this morning and to whine and complain about every little thing and argue with me. He had lost his hoodie, his favorite one, yesterday at school. And when my husband went to go pick him up, which is something he doesn't do very often, might I add. So I had to remind him, hey, you know, he needs reminders to make sure that he has everything. And come to find out he had lost his hoodie, and he thinks it was when he was at recess, which is about the half point of the day for him. So it had been gone for a while. Fun. So we had to use his backup hoodie, the one that he doesn't like as much, and he wanted to argue about wearing it to school, and well, I don't want to lose this one too, and this is excuse, and it's under 60 degrees outside, okay? Like, it's in the high 50s outside this morning. It's cold enough. He needs to have a hoodie, especially since he was wearing short sleeves. And I love the kid. I do, but he had already delayed us because he wanted to give the cats treats before school. And thank God we literally live right next to the school, because if we hadn't lived so close, I would have had to sign him in at the front and him gain a tardy. And I was just like, buddy, we can't have this. I love you. We can't be arguing about this. It's cold outside. Put your hoodie on. I don't want to have to ground you. So we finally get there, and I had to wait a really long time so the youngest could go to class. And shortly after we get there, the intercoms are already going on to give the daily announcements. We were late. Not late enough for him to actually get a tardy, but we were late. So it was a fun morning. That was my morning. Okay, so we have our top coat on now. Now for the fun part, guys. Okay, so unless you're horrible about applying top coat, now where did I put the lid to this? There it is. You won't need your cleanup brush past this point, unless, as stated, unless you're horrible at top coat. So what we're going to do is we're going to put each image that we're going to use onto our stampers, clean up the excess around it first, and then we will go into the fill-in process. That's when I'm going to show you this really fun, and as long as your Dollar Tree in the area carries a relatively inexpensive trick. Thank you to whichever person posted in Maniology Facebook group about a year ago when Dollar Tree started carrying them, and mine finally got one. So it was a brilliant idea, and I love it. Okay, so I've already used the Seche Vite, so I can go right there. Okay, so we're going to use straight up black for the outlines, B171, and we are going to pick up this lovely gravestone right here that has the raven on the top and the kitty, and we're just going to go ahead and pick that up. We will do the cleanup after we've gotten all of our stampers their images. So I'm going to uncap these. I'm not going to uncap all of them at once just in case there's a spill with acetone or something like that, because I don't want to ruin my stampers. And there goes my nail art brush. I'm sorry, brush. Let's move you up there. So we're going to need 2 of this exact gravestone, okay, with the cat on it and the raven on it. The cat image and the raven sitting on top. We'll need 2 of that one. Today really is not my day. Seems like every time I go to record, it's always not a, oh wow. Okay, so give me a second. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea how that happened. Is my bottle okay? Is there some on the, okay, I don't think there's any on the bottle. Okay, I'm a mess. I am a mess. Oh, come on. Thank you. So, I'm not sure what I did. I don't know how I dipped myself. So, yes, this can be messy. Full disclosure, this can be messy. I'm still trying to figure out how I got that much on me. That's going to be fun to wash off later. Okay, so we want this lovely little kitty right here. And pick up. It's a nice little pickup. So I'm going to prep 3 more stampers. Take the lids off. Okay, so we're going to take, and with this little gravestone right here, and we're going to need 2 of it. We're going to need 2 of each of the gravestones that we're using. One is for the cat, one is for the dog, and there's paw print, you know, little paws coming up out of the ground, zombie paws that associate with each animal. Do it again. So I had noticed in the past that, you know, some of the times that I was doing reverse stamping on camera, it was kind of hard to see. And in generality, it can be hard to see even when you're not doing it on camera. There's times where it just can be hard to see. So we have, oh, that did not pick up nicely. Poor little doggy. We will read that. We have a sketching light pad to help us with that. And Dollar Tree sells it for $5. It's one of the added like bonus item areas things that they did when they revamped Dollar Tree. And it is a very nice item. Okay, that's much better. And little ghost doggy. And we need this little paw right there. And I forgot to prep that. That's okay. Good pickup. We'll prep the other 2. Okay. So, yes, there's a lot of stamps here. We need this paw. And we need this little owl. Okay, here we are. So that's all of our stamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this plate and set it off to the side. Now, oopses can be made, so I may need this plate still. We're all human. We all make mistakes. These things tend to happen, and apparently, oopses happen to me a lot. So, and I've been doing this for years, and I still have really bad days with it, and it seems to always want to happen when I'm filming. Granted, to be fair, last night, the oopses I made wasn't the stamping itself, it was when I was cleaning up and I accidentally knocked my hand. But this is normal because it's my dominant hand that I knock all the time when it's not dry enough to be knocked on like that. So, to be fair, last night's was, well, expected. I expected it. I knew it would happen. It always happens to that hand because it's my dominant hand. Lots of polish all over me. I'm amazed at how much I have on me. I don't understand it. I don't understand how I got so much polish on me. Just I think I'm being clean with it. Apparently I am not. Okay, so I need another cotton ball. Try to clean up my hands some. Okay, that's a little better. It's not quite so bad. Okay, so now we're going to clean up around the edges of this. I'm going to go ahead and move my stamping stuff off to the side. I don't need it right this moment. So, and I don't even need this sponge for gradients anymore, so let's go ahead and put that away real quick. We're going to play swap-a-roos here. So, here is the light pad. And you will need a, because it doesn't come with it, I think it's called a USB, micro USB, I think is what it's called. I'm not really sure. You'll need one that looks like this to plug it in. And it will, if I don't, shove the thing in, that you plug it into inside of it by accident. Of course, you can get a higher quality one than this, but my goofy butt likes to argue with the cheapy one that likes to fall apart. But I mean, if you're on a budget like I am, you just make it work. I am on a tight budget, and I do mean tight budget. I don't get to order stuff very often. My husband has been working extra to even provide some extra income for the holidays. Okay, come on. Come on. Stop arguing. Please work. I had you working last night. So, there we go. There we go. As stated, don't expect it to be perfect. It's $5, but it works pretty dang well for what we're doing. Okay. There. At some point in time, that must have got shoved further in and pinched some cords or something in there. But this makes it easier to see the images when you're filling them in. Now, I can't tell if it's easier for you on the camera. And that's my test. If not, we'll go back to the old-fashioned method. But these... Oh, well, it does make it easier when I'm holding it up for on camera to see. Okay, so just not when it's directly on the pad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean up the, and I'm going to have to restamp that. Immediately I see I have to restamp that. I oopsied it. Okay, so this is why I left the stamping stuff out. Bear with me, folks. I already foresaw this from a mile away because it's the kind of day I'm having. Bear with me. I will quickly restamp this and we will go ahead, clean up around the edges. So, bear with me, folks. Please bear with me. I'm trying. Okay. So, back to what we were originally doing. We want to clean up around the owl. I just realized I didn't pick up the entire stamp. So if your day is going as abysmally as mine is, and just like everything that could go wrong is going wrong, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to know that I'm not the only one who's having one of those days. Today is one of those days. And unfortunately, I don't have another day to film this. So this is my one shot this week that I've got available for it. So I have to make it work. I have to make it work. But if you're having a rough day too, where just nothing seems to want to go right, there we go. There's the whole image. Well, you're not alone. Mine is that way today too. You're not alone. Okay. Maybe we can get this to work. Aha. Now that I'm no longer taking the images I need by accident. Okay, so clean up around the image you want. And take all the excess. Let's see if I can do it without burning the stamp itself, like I did multiple times with the owl. I don't know why. I cannot seem to do it today. It's not my day. It's just not my day, guys. This is an exceptionally difficult day today, apparently. I guess I should have known that from the moment my son was being difficult about going to school. Even though it wasn't necessarily the part about going to school that he was just being difficult about. It was just he wanted to do so much stuff before school that he didn't have time to do. So, and then he got upset because I didn't have any salad mix to make him a salad for lunch today. Because we ran out. Salad was just super popular this weekend in the household, and it just got demolished. So we're going to clean up around all of our images, and we're going to get all the excess stuff we don't need. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be a little bit quiet while I'm focusing on this, and I'm sorry if the quiet bothers you. I'm trying not to ruin this image. And so I am extra focused on what I'm doing. Okay, so we are going to clean up out, or try to, because apparently I can't get there today. So I don't know if it's Dev or if it's Tiana, but one or the other from the Maniology team, they call it lemon or difficult lemon or lemon difficult, something to that effect. That is my day today, guys. Yeah. So I'm trying not to mess it up further and just focus. And very soon, since I'm almost done cleaning up all the images, we will get into the colors that I use to fill this. Some of it is stamping polishes, and we will also fill in the stuff that's supposed to be black that didn't quite pick up all the way, like the top of the raven's head, and a little bit on the owl. We will go back, don't worry, we will go back and we will deal with that too. We'll just take a little bit of the straight up black that we used to stamp it in the first place with the detail brush, and we'll just fill it in. And so we just want the dog on this one, the little ghost doggy, which these are adorable. I understand why these are so heavily sought after, because let's face it, these plates are absolutely adorable. In fact, the godfather to my children actually wants his next Manny potentially done with the Pet Cemetery plates because he likes some of the images on it because they're so cute. They are so freaking cute. So it made me even happier that, like, I have people in my life that want Manny's done with them to help justify the cost of these, but my husband had spent. I really do have a wonderful husband. He may piss me off pretty heavily sometimes because he's a man and men can be oblivious, but I would not have stuck with this man for the last 15 years if he wasn't a good guy and I didn't love him. Because he is a good guy and I do love him. Okay, so we've got all of our images cleaned up, and we've got our 9 stampers. It's a lot. We got our 9 stampers prepped and ready to go. So we have here, we'll get our polish line up. Get our polish line up, guys. We'll get that. Okay. So we have LA Colors Color Last, and this one is called Love. We have LA Colors Mod, is what this one's called, from Color Craze. We have another Color Craze LA Colors, and this one is Energy Source. This is called Steel Drama from P2 Technichrome. You can get this at Dollar Tree, and it's actually a very nice silver metallic. Okay, so these are from Essie, and this is from the Expressi line, and this one is Sapphire on the Move. Let's see if I can get it to pick up. And we have Don't Hate Curate from Essie. It's on the Expressi line. We have, this is also from the Expressi line from Essie, is Trick Click. It's a nice pink. And then we have Maniology's Stamping Polishes Coconut, which is B268, and Storm Cloud B185. And then, of course, you saw Straight Up Black from Maniology. We also use Maniology Smudge Free Top Coat, Maniology Sticky Base, and OPI's Matte Top Coat, and a detail brush, and a dish of acetone for cleaning, of course. So these are the colors we will be using for today's Mani and the stamping portion of. Let's move these off to the side. So right off the bat, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to take some of this Straight Up Black and fill in the spots that was supposed to be black from the start when it was stamped. I'm going to go start with these ravens at the top of these gravestones. And yes, you are not seeing things. That is blue. I probably should have used a different stamper. That stamper head is stained blue from a regular polish years ago with a Mani I did. So yes, the stamper head itself is tinted blue. That is just an unfortunate thing that had happened. I learned my lesson. I now do not use on my stampers, my good stampers anyways, that brand of polish, because I don't want to take any chances of it staining any more of my stamper heads. It scares me. I don't want it to happen again. And I know that the green from that line is also very pigmented and would do the same. It actually stained my silicone mat, so I know it would stain my stampers, and I would not be surprised if the red from that line did as well. It's just, I'm not taking any chances. So, okay, so I guess we'll do the gravestones first because It's pretty repetitive and it's pretty much all the same thing. And basically I just use these two grays for the, and we'll do the stones on the owl. But I use these two grays for the gravestones, and I just kind of, I don't know if you can see it on there. Or if there's just too much light from other sources. See if it's willing to focus on it. I just kind of splotched it in there to make it seem like stone. In the sense of like a granite or a marble. That is, oh, now that I zoomed in, you can actually see that a lot better. Okay guys, so this will work. Cool. I just take directly from the bottle when I'm doing stuff like this. I don't put it on a palette. So the goal here is just kind of wiggle the first color on, which I'm using the LA Colors Color Craze, and you just kind of wiggle it on, and no distinct pattern, no specific pattern at all. You just want to kind of stream it through in various locations with no rhyme or reason, just however the flow feels for you. Whatever feels right. Is all this is. So you just fill it in. And I do like to keep the cross all the same color. I don't like to mess with that too much. I feel like it's too small to be doing that with in a way that would actually look realistic, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't feel like it would work as well. So easier to work. And it's still kind of hard to see all of them. There, if I do it that way, you can see all four of them. Okay, so I'm just floating it in with no rhyme or reason. None of them are the same. Not even the ones that are originally the same images. I don't have the same pattern going on inside of them. And then we're going to go in and we're going to make one of the two rocks on the owl, the gray that we're using. And I like doing it on this one. I think I put it on the other one last time, but having a little bit of difference is nice. Okay, so you just fill her in. It's that simple. It's like having a coloring book, but with nail polish. It's kind of a weird concept. But it is what it is. So, excuse me. I'm going to go in with Storm Cloud from Maniology to fill in the other stone, and then we'll get back to the gravestones. Okay, so we have that. We're going to set that aside. We'll go back to the gravestones, and this is Storm Cloud. B185. And now we're going to take the other gray and we're just going to fill in the rest of the image. Once you've done the hard part, which is line in all the lines of the other gray to kind of give it a marbleized stone look, much like most traditional gravestones these days have, because they're generally a marble or a granite or some kind of nice, pretty stone like what you would want in your kitchen or bathroom. They're made out of those too. So that is our goal here. Is we all love our pets, right? Like we don't want to give them just a basic rock, right? We don't want just a cement stone. We want something pretty. We want something that we would give our family. So that's how I look at this, in a sense, is for those of us who have had a beloved pet, either as a child or as an adult, that we've lost, we want to give them the very best that we can, right? And we're not always able to. Not everybody's able to do that, and there are real pet cemeteries out there where people who could afford to do it have. And I'll admit, I wish I could have for many of my beloved pets that I have lost over the years, but life doesn't always work out in that way. My pets are like my babies. They're my children, and my 2 male cats that I discussed earlier are 12 years old. Me and my husband have had them for almost our entire relationship. We hadn't been together for too terribly long when we went and picked them out. And in fact, we were going through a very difficult time when we had lost a cat that I'd had for many years that was elderly. That I'd had before we got together, and the female that we had gotten before was losing her mind. She was licking all of her fur off due to depression and stress from losing her companion, and she just needed a companion. And we had also recently lost our first baby, and very suddenly at 15 weeks. We didn't know at the time what the cause was. So, we weren't doing too well mentally at the time, and we're dealing with a lot. So, when we went to go pick out, we meant to get one. To be fair, when we went to go get the boys, we originally only meant to get one cat. We only intended to get one cat. We came home with 2. So they were the last 2 of that particular litter. Okay, so now that we've filled them in, I'll flip them over and show you what they look like. But okay, so I can get, so that's what they look like. So we got 2 when we intended to get 1, and Peach was the one we were leaning towards being the one we got. And now I'm going to zoom this in some more, make it easier to see while I'm filling it in. So this is the one that's going to take Technichrome Steel Drama, and it's also going to take Saffron on Move, Saffron the Move, and it will take Energy Source. And we get the camera focus. There we go. So they're old. In fact, Peach is missing quite a few teeth. He unfortunately has a condition called feline auto-oral syndrome, I believe is what's called, and it's where his body attacks his teeth and his gums, and there's nothing that we can do about it. There's nothing that the vets can do about it. There's no cure, there's no treatment, there's no vaccine. We just have to try to keep his teeth clean as much as we can, and accept the fact that eventually he's just going to have either naturally lost all of his teeth, or they get so infected from his body attacking it that they have to be removed, which is actually what happened to, all right, camera, can you focus? It's actually what happened to his top 2 fangs. Okay, my camera does not want to focus. So when I was pregnant with my youngest, I had noticed that during bedtime, Peach, when he was cuddling up with me, he would jerk back when I would rub his cheeks. And that's one of his favorite things. And he would jerk away a little bit, like he was in pain. So when I noticed that he started doing that, I got a good look, and his poor gums were purple. They were so infected, they were purple, they were swollen, his fangs were distended and loose. They were close to coming out on their own, and I hadn't realized because I was pregnant, and it was a high-risk pregnancy, and I had a toddler that was completely unruly. No matter what I did, no matter how much I worked with him, we believe now that he has ADHD, and we think that contributed to some of the problems that we had back then. It was really bad. But he had horrendously infected gums, and his poor teeth were severely distended, and it was bad. It was really bad. So we save this poor cat the pain and misery. We spent quite a bit of money to get his teeth cleaned and to have any of the ones that were just not savable, that were just too bad to be safe to keep, like those two top bangs, removed. So he already had lost naturally quite a few of his little front teeth, those teeny tiny things. He only has 2 on the top anymore in the front of them out of the like 6 they normally have. So yeah, no, my poor baby, he has very little teeth in his mouth. Very little. He has his molars still. They have not hit that point, thankfully. So, you know, he still has that, but yeah, no, he's a happy cat. He's just got a lot of problems with his mouth, so he chews on a lot of stuff like a dog. Okay, so now we're going to be on to the white. We're going to fill in the face. Oops, I do use that color too. So I do use Don't Hate Curate in this as well. I forgot. So we do use that. We use the white, and we're just going to dab it into the face area. Okay, there's that. But no, my sweet Peaches, he looks so goofy without his teeth. But like he's so sweet, and he's old, and his brother's old, and but I couldn't have asked for 2 better cats. They're amazing. Okay, so we're gonna do the Don't Hate Curate, and it's hard to see it, but you can see it on camera. There's 2 spots right here where his feet are, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna stick it where his feet are. So now we're going to go in with Technochrome's Steel Drama. I keep bumping these, and I need to find a better spot for them because I keep bumping them. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to go in with... Apologize for that. We're going to go with Steel Drama. And we're going to make this a scythe. Look like a scythe. And have a nice metal looking blade. Look at that. Is that not adorable? Okay. So we've got that one. side. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go in with our ghosty dog. If I can get the camera to actually pick up on it. There it goes. Okay, so we're going to be using this lovely pink from Essie that is Trick Click, and this is the only spot we use it, and it's just to be on the dog's tongue. And that's the only spot that we worry about using it, is this little spot right here where the tongue is. And that's it. If you have a pink similar to this, you can go ahead and use that. You don't have to use the exact same brands as me. If you have similar colors to it, use those. You don't have to go out and buy the ones that I'm using. So we're going to go in with the white again. For instance, you don't have to use LA Colors white. In fact, there are better white polishes out there. It's just affordable. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill in with this white for our little ghosty dog. Yeah, no, I dread the day when our two older cats pass. They have been such a big part of mine and my husband's time together, and they have seen every last baby that, you know, they've been with us for every last baby we've lost practically, except for the very first one. But they were born the same year that, and we had picked them out the same year that we had lost our oldest. And it was, you know, this is back in 2011. You know, we lost our first baby January 29th of 2011, right after my husband's mother passed. And it made it all the worse for us because she had MS. She had multiple sclerosis, and she had very progressive MS, to be specific, and she had been in a nursing home for a while. She'd been incapacitated, unable to do anything herself for many, many years. In fact, she lost the ability to even walk when my husband was about 4 or 5 years old. And it was very hard. So there's the dog. I just tapped myself with it by accident. There's the dog. And you know, I had, from a distance, because we live in a different state from where she was, but I had talked to her and built a relationship with her, and I knew that the only thing she wanted before she passed was a grandchild. And my brother-in-law was not anywhere near, he wasn't even dating anybody at the time, and he was a recluse. He was not going to be providing any grandchildren, and she knew that. And you know, we both wanted children eventually, but at the time, you know, we couldn't afford it. We weren't in a position to do so. So, you know, we kept telling her, and then once we were suspecting as a possibility for it, she had passed away. And it kind of broke both of us. She was an incredible woman. She went through a lot with that disease, and it's heartbreaking. You know, we wanted to give that to her, and I am glad that his father at least lived long enough to see our oldest be born. Unfortunately, he passed away when our oldest was a little over a year old. Cancer got him. He loved our son so much. He loved our cats just as much. Peach and Topaz miss their grandpa dearly, I can tell you that much, because nobody else feeds them steak. Yes, my father-in-law would feed my cats steak from his plate. He loved those furry boys dearly. He remembers when they were little. He had visited one time and he was upset that we didn't have a grill. At the time we couldn't afford it, and we didn't really have a good spot to store it, but he wanted us to have a grill, so he went out and he bought us a little grill and set it up. And as he was setting it up, Topaz, the cute little carpet shark that he was at the time, tried to climb up the man's pant leg. Okay, so there's our cat. It was white, and we used that very light, soft pink from LA Colors for that tip of the ear. I forgot to mention that. The Love from LA Colors. Okay, so here's the zombie dog paw. And we're just going to go back to Saffron the Move and fill the whole thing in with that. But, okay, so I was saying how they had been with us through almost every baby we lost. And so in 2012, a lot happened in 2012. We moved. I had gotten my first non-under-the-table job. My husband was in a very bad car accident that he was lucky to be alive from. And we had lost our second baby. All in 1 year, yeah. All in 1 year. Not in that order, but all in 1 year. So, my stepbrother from my mother's marriage lived with us, and he was working at Walmart, and so was my husband, and I wasn't able to find work yet. Not for lack of trying, but let's see if it'll focus. There it goes. Not for lack of trying. I had tried to find work, and I had done some babysitting. It helped me pay for getting both boy cats neutered, and Peach and Topaz were neutered that year as well. And we decided that even though it would be tight financially, we were going to try, I'm using Love from LA Colors again, that we would try again for another baby. Maybe it was just a fluke that caused us to lose the first one so suddenly out of nowhere, and we would try again. Because we thought that the odds that I had the same condition as my grandmother to be very low, but we would keep an eye on it. And the suspicions were that I had a incompetent cervix, because that's what happened to my grandmother. It was just kind of suspicious, the circumstances in which the loss had happened, but they had no way to determine what it was that caused the sudden loss. So we just guessed. Okay, so I used coconut for the bandages. So we decided to have my IUD that was driving me insane because I could feel it and I wasn't supposed to be able to, and the doctors kept telling me there's no way, it's in place properly. It was driving me insane. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do anymore. So we decided we'll go ahead and try again and have the IUD removed. So we did. And a month later, I was pregnant. So we weren't expecting it to happen that fast, but it did. And we kept a very close eye on it, and it turned out that my suspicions were correct. And I do have an incontinent cervix. But we found out too late to save our only daughter. I went into labor at 19 weeks. And we caught the labor early. I didn't just suddenly deliver. We didn't get to where it was like so far that I just had massive contraction deliver, like what happened with our oldest son. With our first son, I should say. So we had been rushed to Erlanger. So if you don't know where Erlanger is, you have an idea of what state we live in now. But we were rushed to Erlanger, and all right, I'm going to show you which polishes I was using. It's both of these brown ones, the Saffron, the Move, and Don't Hate Curate. But we were rushed to Erlanger, and in the time it took for us to get there, I had dilated significantly, and I was so stressed from the situation that they thought I was going to have a heart attack or a stroke. So they couldn't operate that night. They worked at getting me back to a more reasonable blood pressure. And then they attempted to do the cerclage, which is where they stitch your cervix closed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. We don't need it any longer. And I was too far dilated. Now, mind you, she was not born at 19 weeks. They tried to keep her in longer, and it did not work. She was born 2 weeks later, and she lived 3 hours. She was born at 21 weeks one day, and it was literally 2 weeks exactly, because it was 19 weeks one day when I was admitted. She was born at 2 weeks exactly later, and she was almost a foot long and just under a pound. So that happened June of 2020, not 2020, but 2012, and it was June 27th, 2012, and that was the first big event of that year that they saw. And 3 months later, my husband and my stepbrother were in a massive accident where they were headed to work and someone pulled out in front of them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our sticky base coat on our thumb. I'm going to let that get tacky. So, yeah, I almost lost my husband. Though at the time he was my fiance, but I almost lost him and my stepbrother. And that accident got me my first job that wasn't babysitting or something like that. And we got married. We got officially married October 30th of 2012. Almost 11 years ago to the day. And then we moved closer to work. Not long after that. About, I'd like to say it was sometime in November, maybe December, when we moved into an apartment closer to work. So yeah, no, that was a very busy year. A lot had happened. And the cats had saw another move when we bought our first house, the house we have now. Saw the birth of our now almost 8-year-old son. Lost another baby after that. We had a tubal, an ectopic, and it burst. And then our youngest. So they have seen a lot. They saw all of the, they have been here through all of the issues with both kids that are alive. They've been with us for a long time. They've been with us for a very long time. Okay, my camera needs to be charged. Cool, so we need to find the portable battery. We need the portable battery. So let's get this camera hooked up to the portable battery. Hopefully my husband didn't take the charge out of it. Yes, camera, I know. There you go. Alright. We're back in business, guys. Okay, so the sticky base should be perfect now. And we're just going to go towards the bottom, but not... Alright. But not completely at the bottom. We want a little bit of space there. And press down. And that's all you do for the thumb. Okay. So now for the index. We have, grab one of our two raven ones with the cat and our sticky base, folks. So yeah, no, when these two cats pass, the whole family is going to be hurting, because my 7-year-old, that's the first cat that really showed him affection, because he's crazy. I love the kid, but like, he's so hyperactive. He's always bouncing around, and it was a struggle to teach him to treat the cats nicely. That's been a struggle. But he treats him nicely now, granted. But like, there was trust issues between the cats and him. But now that cat is practically inseparable from the kids, and Topaz is, I feel like that was his purpose in life, was to be the kid's cat. Okay, so see if I can get this to line up in a way that you guys can see here. You cut one off to the edge of the nail and press down towards the bottom. I'm having a hard time twisting it in the way I need to for the camera. Why am I having so much trouble today? Okay, so now we need our ghost kitty. And we want to go up catty cornered to it. We want it diagonal in place. So those are done. So yeah, no, they are a big part of our family. They have been with us through it all, pretty much. Like, I've had them almost my entire adult life, and it's going to be hard. And I know both of my kids are going to be devastated when they go. We'll put our sticky base. And Topaz, he is a cat, but only in DNA and body shape. He's more of a dog. He acts and thinks like a dog. He doesn't act or think like a cat. He acts and thinks like a dog. And We have actually had offers from people that we've met that have come over and like, hey, I'll buy that cat off you. Like that's because he's like a dog, but he's lower maintenance. Okay, so now we're gonna be on to this one, and we're gonna need the dog's gravestone. One of these. And oh boy, let's see if I can get this to show. We're going to line it up towards the top of where the green is, off to the opposite side, to the left hand side, and place it down. Alright, don't need that stamper. Now we need the dog's paw. Nice little dog paw. And we're going to go down to the bottom of the nail, almost completely to the bottom, and to the right a little bit, and place it. Okay. And now we're on to Doggy Ghost. So we're going to need the other dog gravestone, and so we'll need this, and the ghost dog, and our sticky base. So it has been difficult to handle life without them, that kind of thing. The idea of handling life without them has been, it's been hard. Those two cats have been a rock in our life. So Peach, I would not be able to sleep without him anymore. He is my little cuddle buddy. He literally spoons with me every night, and I do mean every night. If that cat does not hop in bed with us and demand to be the littlest spoon, something's wrong. Something's wrong if he's not demanding to be spooned. He is my little cuddle bear. All right, we're gonna go in the bottom corner here, just like we did with the cat. And we're gonna go in with the ghost dog. Up towards the top. Side. Yeah, no, he's got to use one arm, one of my arms for a pillow, and my other arm has to be wrapped around him and up in between his paws, or he will yell at me and in my face. He will sometimes smack me in the face if I'm not if I'm not cuddling him. He gets very demanding about his cuddles. He wants mom to cuddle him, and if mom's not available, he will grudgingly pick dad. He is my little boy. I will not be able to sleep when he's gone. I've gotten so used to having him snuggled up against me like a teddy bear that the idea of not having him there is just horrific. It's horrific. I'm like, let's be honest, it's not something. Okay, so go as far up as you can. Kind of put it off to the side. And then for the cat's gravestone. And then we're going to take the cat's paw down towards the bottom, off to the side. Now, we're not done. Even with all this reverse stamping, we're not done, guys. We will still need to stamp a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get stamping stuff back over here. So, yeah, no, they are our precious babies, and I would not trade them for the world. Okay, there it is. Sorry, I had to find my straight up black. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now, I'll try to adjust this light and light this up with some in our face. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry if it's a little dark for you guys. I'm trying to have less glare, so this is a little easier to see. We're going to be using grass tufts like these for this last little bit. So pick up, need some tape. And we're going to clean it off. Yeah, no. When they go, if we have the money, I am getting them a nice plot because they deserve it. And then we're going to pick the nail right here, the center one, the zombie dog paw. And we're just going to place this little grass tuft like so off to the side. And we're going to do the same with the cat's version. We can get ourselves a nice little grass tuft. We'll go ahead and grab this one and clean up around it. Alright, so we got our grass tuft. And we're going to go off to the edge of this one, if I can get the dang thing to focus. And place it like so. And then we need to start our top coating. So I'm gotta get used to which direction it is for zooming in and zooming out. I'm just not used to it yet. Okay, there we go. Clean her up. Set her off to the side. So, yes, I know. This is a long one because I've had so much technical issues. This has gone on longer than I intended. I knew it was going to be a long one because we were doing all sorts of fun base stuff. So we go on with our smudge-free top coat. Because we had our lovely gradient, and the gradient takes a long time to do too. And you gotta wait for stuff to dry. Oh my goodness. So be prepared for this to take a long time. I'm sorry. It's a long mani. It's a long one. But it's so cute. It's so cute. As it always goes when it comes to Halloween, there's never enough time. In the month of October, yeah, I tend to start even as soon as September. There's never enough time for me to squeeze in all the lovely Halloween manis that I like to do. So if you would like Halloween manis outside of actual, like, traditional Halloween time, go ahead and let me know. Give me a comment. Be like, hey, we like more Halloween manis because we like Halloween too. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas or Valentine's Day. Let's get more Halloween, right? Okay, so we're gonna let our smudge-free dry before we add our alright, where is there? This nice clean brush because I have some smudge-free that, oops, sorry, pulled into my cuticle and I don't want that drying there. So I don't think I can get my fur babies to come to me and cooperate in a way that you could see them on camera. But I do have adorable pictures of all my fuzzballs, as well as my kids. Though I will not be showing my kids. That is a safety thing. I don't show them. But now this here's my female. That's, I say my female, but really that's my husband's cat. She picks Daddy. That's Daddy's girl. But that beautiful orange and white, that is Peach. And I have some better ones of him and some better ones of Topaz. This adorable floof is Topaz. And he acts like a dog. He has the mind of a dog and the body of a cat. And he loves the boys to death. That is their cat since they have been born. He's always been very protective of them. Even though he was afraid of them, he's always been very protective of them, and that's their cat. So we have discussed, we think he's probably the one that'll pass first. Just because he's always kept himself very thin. He's always been picky about his food. And he drinks a lot of water, and kidney problems are common thing for cats to pass from. So we think that that's what's going to take him probably when old age gets to him. Here's another good one of my Peach baby. He's such a sweet boy. He is such a mama's boy. He is. He really is such a mama's boy. And they are all very sweet. But the female is not very old. We got her the same year my father-in-law passed away. And she kind of chose us. I guess is the way to put it. Like, she kind of chose us. My husband is a Star Wars fan, and her name is Leia. Princess Leia is her actual name. That's what her name was on the card in the pet store. Along with her siblings were also named after Star Wars characters. She just kind of locked eyes with my husband, and we had my now almost 8-year-old in the store for him to just look at the pets, because he was being good in the other stores nearby, and we wanted him to have fun looking at the pets. Poor man's zoo, as some people call it. It was just, we were right there. And we weren't intending on bringing home any animals, but my husband just fell in love with her, and she just snuggled up to him and played with our son, and so we just decided that why not? We'll just get a third cat. It's not the first time we've had 3. We couldn't really afford it, but they were attached. They were already attached. So we paid the adoption fee, bought a carrier, and bought her a toy, and brought her home. So she's actually 6.5 years old. We have had her for almost exactly 6 years now. And yeah, no, she's still pretty young. So we will have her for a long time, hopefully. If her own obsessions with certain dangerous things doesn't kill her first. She likes to eat plastic things. And I fear one of these days she's just going to manage to find plastic that a kid has left out, despite us trying really hard to keep her safe and to teach them to keep that stuff away from the cats, that she's just going to end up eating something she's not supposed to and die. But as far as health-wise, she's pretty healthy. She should live a long time as long as she doesn't do something stupid. And she's also very sweet. We joke around. We say, you know, that she's just pure sugar. that mommy's not supposed to be anywhere near her because she's just pure sugar and mommy's diabetic and can't have sugar. Because she really is. She is so sweet. She is so sweet. And she likes to lay on me every night. But if Dad's home when we're not laying in bed, she's all over Dad. My husband's little princess. She leaps from cabinet tops, from the floor, from countertops, from wherever the heck she's at into his arms randomly, whether he's expecting it or not. And just expects him to catch her. So, okay. Let me clean up around my cuticles a little bit, and then we will give for the final reveal. We have top coated with our matte top coat. And there you have it. Yes, it does take a lot of work, and yes, it was only one of the MXM plates from the Pet Cemetery collection. I did do a different mani that used elements from both, and it was used in the Maniology Ambassadors monthly competition, and it was actually the one that won for one of the ones that won for September. Though it is a random drawing of 5 people, but it was one of the winning ones. So there you have it. There's our lovely Pet Cemetery mani, our ghost dog and our ghost kitty and our ghost owl. And I hope you like this tutorial. And yeah, we have a little bit of story time mixed in there too. So I hope everybody has a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it may be where you're at, whenever you're watching this. For me, it is morning and my children are at school. And it won't be much longer, and I will have to pick up the youngest, who only goes for 3 hours a day. And so we're about to have the chaos ensue here soon. I say that, but really most of the time he's really pretty calm. Unless his brother's aggravating him, he's generally pretty calm. My youngest, he's nonverbal autistic, and he is the sweetest boy you would ever meet most of the time. If he's not feeling good, or somebody's causing extra drama or chaos, he does not take well to it. But, I mean, who does? Who takes well to somebody purposely causing chaos? Like, most of us don't take well to that, and he does not like it one bit. So that's the struggle between him and his brothers. His brother seems to like chaos and he does not, so it's fun. It's really fun. So thankfully it's just him, so it should be a nice calm afternoon with him. Do some snuggling, maybe watch some movies in between getting housework done, and enjoy the calm section of this week, what little of it there is, before there's so much going on. So I hope you all have a nice day, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening. I hope you enjoyed this mani tutorial, and if you want to try this yourself and you have the plates to do it, you maybe not have all the same exact colors polished, you can use similar ones and mix it up. I try to use some pretty standard colors that you can get, similar colors in many different brands. So keep that in mind. You don't have to use, excuse me, you don't have to use the exact same colors as I did. So Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.